the music.
That's my bad. That's my bad. Y'all should be able to hear us now. It's my fault. He didn't push the button. I didn't plug it in all the way.
Are we live still?
We're live.
Do we ever stop or is it the same feed?
No, we stopped.
Oh.
And I went back.
Carrying on where we was at.
I like the way you receive me.
You hear me now, don't you?
Oh, I like the way you relieve me. Oh, I like the sex episode, baby.
Hey, Shay.
Oh, I'm glad you live with me. Oh, I love the way you receive me. Oh, I love the way you relieve me. Oh, no, I like the way you receive. Woo. Like the way you relieve me. Woo.
Hey, this part right here.
All right, y'all. If y'all in here, say what's up. We getting ready to get started.
Tell them share. Share the episode, y'all. Let people know we on.
Not the episode. Share the live. Y'all know the protocol.
So Bob.
All right. So I see possibly Jay. I see Shayla. I see Shanika. If there's anybody else that's in here, say what's up. Hey, Danielle, how are you? Y'all ready? Is you ready?
How many people are on? 'Cause that's going to tell us right there.
8 or 9.
8 or 9? 8 or 9? What you want to do? You want to start it?
Yes, sir.
You don't kick it off.
Our
Talk
battery
to the people.
is very scant
Don't kick it
tonight.
off.
Well,
then.
you going to hit the button for me because my arms can't reach.
No, we talk to them first before we do that, don't
But
we?
here I've been saying, hey, Stacy. Hey, Gathering and Grit. You say you can't hear us on YouTube? Oh, there you go. Okay. Hey, I love the name. Hey, Danielle. You here for a good laugh? We talking about sex. Why we gonna laugh? She know us too well.
Let me share this real quick.
Y'all go ahead and share as y'all come in. We're gonna get our shares out the way, and then we will go ahead and get started. Oops. I gotta go back to my own self.
Wow, not me sharing the What They Never Told Us page as What They Never Told Us.
I just said that.
Grow up, Russ.
Make sure you delete it.
I didn't do it yet. I caught it beforehand.
Hey, Brittany. Oh, it's Candace. I like that name.
Hey, what up, Stacy? My cousin in here. My family in here.
Oh, it's Candace.
What up, y'all?
Baby, turn your volume down.
What up? We in here. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. We finna get started. Hope everybody's week has been amazing. Hope everybody's doing well, living, surviving, and not just surviving, but thriving as well. We're going to get into it. Hopefully everybody has shared the episode. We're not vain. We just want to get this good content to as many people as possible, and you guys help us out. Y'all are like our, unofficial promo team. So we appreciate y'all. Y'all know protocol. We're going to hit record, do our intro, and then we'll get rolling, okay? You ready? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Brandy.
And welcome to another episode recap of the What They Never Told Us podcast. What's going on? We back. Air horns.
Of course, the family is in the building,
Mm-hmm.
so we got to shout out our people real quick before we go ahead and get started.
Who in here?
If you're in the chat and you have not let us know. Please do, so we can give you your dues, your respective shout outs. So shout out to Jay, Shayla, Shanika, Danielle, Stacy, Candace, Brittany. That's all I got so far. What up, y'all? It says more of y'all in here, but if you don't say hi, we can't say hi to y'all. Danielle says, because I was laughing at the episode, so I know the live is going to be more funny. A lot of people said that they was laughing at the episode. I mean, we was clowning a little bit. And I was actually in the car, and I was rolling. And I can't even remember what I was laughing so hard at, but I looked over, like, head down, came up, and happened to look over. And this non-black lady was looking at me like.
Non-black lady. Okay.
She was like.
That's real vague. It's important that she wasn't black, though.
She's a non-black lady. 'Cause, you know, black people know. We know how we laugh.
Oh
I can't
God.
see Shanika's gifts or emojis or whatever she put in there on Streamlabs.
She put heart emojis.
Heart emojis.
Like the little hands that make the heart.
Shanika, did you listen to the episode?
Yo, I was just about to say, I didn't listen. I usually listen, but I haven't.
Ooh, shame on you.
Oh, I was there.
Shame
I think that
on
counts.
you.
I think that
I
counts.
watched it on YouTube this time. I usually always listen to the audio, but this time I don't know why, but I directed myself right on over to YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check it out. Who did? Get a hand in the air if you have checked out the episode. Oh, Shanique.
She
You
said
know what?
she sure did.
I don't
She's
want-
been doing good this season. I must say.
There's a pattern. She don't watch none of the episodes, and the only one that she makes it in for is a sex episode.
That's not true.
I don't want to, like,
She
accuse.
said she loved Keep It Cute.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. That was a fluke, though. That was this season.
A lot of fun.
This is
So
season
that
3.
She's been doing good this season.
All right.
Shanika, you're going to get a reputation with all of our other listeners.
Ray here. What's going on, Raylan? What's going on, family? I
Shayla
tried
said
that, but didn't finish.
She tried, but didn't. That's okay.
It's all good. Hours a long time to sit and listen to people talk. Sometimes you got to do it incrementally.
This one actually went by really fast. I was like, even though it was longer than some of our typical ones, it's still, when I was watching it on YouTube, I looked up and I was like, oh, it's done. She said, I did listen to Keep It Cute. I know you did. Brittany said she did. She said, don't do me like that, y'all. Candace said she had 12 minutes left. Candace, I'm gonna need you to just come on over to Facebook. We back. We can hear. You can hear us now.
Yeah, come
Come
on.
on back
It's all
over to
good.
Facebook.
This is where it's
Hey,
jumping at.
Hey, hey Ray. Oh, okay. All right, you ready?
So I want to know what are takeaways from the episode. Like what's something that you remember, in an hour-long conversation. It's easy to, the thing that you remember is usually the one that kind of resonated the most. What do you think kind of stuck out to you or resonated with you the most?
With me?
Yeah.
I was in the conversation. I don't know if that's fair. I was glad that we talked about masturbation. Because I think that's a very taboo thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's with yourself. You don't really have to share that with anybody, like the conversation.
Yeah.
But we did. We talked about it. And I haven't really heard it being talked about that freely.
Yeah. And from that
before.
position,
Fr-
from that position of,
we got to be careful with our words on a sex episode. What position?
you know what? If y'all listen to the episode, there was an episode that didn't make the cut because I forgot to hit record on the camera, so we had to do it again. Let me tell y'all this sentence Brandy said. She was talking about achieving climax. No, she didn't mean to do this. She didn't mean to do this. She said, but she was trying to say, when I get there, but she didn't say, she was trying to describe like a way to say orgasm without saying orgasm. I can't get there without this. But she said, I can't come there without that. And she was like, oh, that's not really the right word for that. You remember that?
It was something like that. I don't remember that exact context,
was-
but I do remember trying to say come and not like climax come, but just like, hey, arrive.
Yo,
right?
talking about sex when like you trying to be like wholesome. It's like,
No, but
it's
there was a
difficult.
point in the episode where I was like, look, I'm just going to say come because that's what I call it. So I'm not going to pretend like I be in the house. Oh, I'm about to climax.
It's a family
no, I say I'm about
show.
to come.
You can say orgasm climax is an educational family Christian show. Talk about some kind.
Everybody say come.
No, they don't.
Ain't nobody talking about, oh, baby, I'm about to climax. No, I'm about to come.
No, there's
Listen.
definitely some people out there saying that.
They about to climax?
I'm about to achieve climax.
Yeah.
They
those
say it-
are also
and they say
non-black
achieve.
people.
Somebody said. Somebody said.
So Jay says he's finally done app hopping and he's got his AirPods back connected. He thought you were not tripping. I did not have it plugged in all the way. That's my bad. Shayla says, do not get embarrassed or feel a type of way when you got to get it, because at the end of the day, y'all grown. Period.
That part.
Candace says, it's difficult. What do other people say? I'm about to arrive to my destination. Nobody says that. No, nobody says I'm about to arrive to my destination. Nobody just say I'm about to achieve climax.
Not yet. I'm definitely about to incorporate that one. That's the one right there.
When you're in the moment, you never know the words. That's very true.
That's true.
But to me, come is universal.
Please stop saying that. You gonna get us flagged. You gonna get us banned.
That is an everyday word.
This is why we couldn't post no episodes post no clips on TikTok.
Thank
Y'all,
you.
all week. Oh, well, not all week. The first day the episode dropped, we trying to post clips of the episode on TikTok, and within minutes, they're muting our sound because we keep saying sex or we talking nasty. Whole time I'm like, yo, there's people on TikTok who talk mad nasty. How they flagging us just for saying the word sex?
If anybody in here is on TikTok, like there is like a very wholesome piece of TikTok. And then there's not. And
maybe
there are
that's the
like
problem.
people who are, maybe we're
on
in
the wholesome
part of
side.
TikTok and they're just flagging.
Like, you can't talk like that
everything
here.
that we do.
Your algorithm ain't set up for the way you talking. You on Christian TikTok saying sex and masturbation, flag.
But it did. When I said climax, it did not.
Nah,
It did not flag me.
It didn't. So,
whatever.
we'll see.
We were struggling all day yesterday trying to find a clip to post where we weren't saying sex. Finally, I just told Russell, look, I'm going to send you the clip that I got. Just mute the word sex in all of it. So if you're watching it, there's nothing wrong with it. It is purposely muted out. So Shanika said nobody is saying that. And Shayla says it is universal.
I'm still laughing at, I'm about to arrive at my destination. So stupid.
I'm close, and then you don't say nothing, but nobody else says anything else. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was one of the most difficult things about being saved, right?
Just trying to figure out what to say.
During sex, yeah. I'm like, can I say this?
Is this appropriate?
It gets real raw. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm sitting here trying to hold on, wait, no. His eyes on the sparrow. Let me trill.
Hey, y'all, I'm still working on it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I get a little too personal.
I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress.
I want to know who in here is being very appropriate and having profanity. Well, I don't want to say profanity, but having just nice, clean verbals during intercourse. And who's out here being quiet? Because that's really, I need to know. Because that just seems like when you grown, there's just no place for that.
Shanika says, I'm definitely saying what Brandy said. Yes. Stacy says, not self-censorship, LOL. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Sister Davis.
Sister Davis, you can't. I love you. You can't be on. Well, she like, I'm grown. I got kids.
Is this the fact that we got to look at you on Sunday?
You like, mama, you can't be on.
We got to look at you on Sunday. Like, no, we did not say none of that. No,
well, she said,
I'm glad you're here.
Express yourself, do it right.
I'm glad you're here. Stacy says, quiet is rude.
It is. It's like, what are we doing? Say something.
I think if it was completely quiet during that moment, I would think that I was like not doing well. Like, you don't like something, you're not enjoying something.
What about, when the kids are around, you got to be discreet,
Nah, you can at least or something. Like, you got to give me something. I need something.
Some bated breath.
You're not just gonna be sitting there stale faced like.
What if the facial expressions are real crucial? Like, what if you look?
Sister David said, I'm going. You don't have to leave.
Just joking. She's like, oh, that's what you're talking about? Okay, I got to go.
Jay says, you got to say it in your Oprah voice like you guys are giving away a car. Okay, no. I'm about to go.
Yo, can I kick people out of this?
No, you cannot. Sierra says,
I got a flag,
hey,
Jay.
y'all. Just
What else,
a bunch
Sierra?
of breathing. I'll pass. Yeah. I mean, there are times, like he said, we talked about this particular part on the episode, and I know there are plenty of people in here who have kids, and still try to get busy. So y'all put in the comments, what are ways that y'all, or maybe y'all don't, maybe you just like, F it, they gonna get what they get and they got here some kind of way, so they gonna have to learn. But if you are trying to like be quiet when you're intimate with your partner and your kids are not, like, what are some things that you do? Russell like will pull, I don't know if this is too much, but he will pull the headboard back and stuff a pillow behind it.
Seems like a foolproof plan. First of all, I don't know how you think. Why are we even talking about moans when
Listen, I've
in the
already
bed you hear
professed.
go. Like clearly that is too much.
I don't know.
Let's eliminate.
We jumping on the bed.
They have attitude. And look, every time I do it, you got like some slick remark. I don't even know why you being presumptuous. Like it's gonna take all that.
First
They
of
ain't
all,
even
I've
necessary.
never said that.
You said you literally said that's quite presumptuous of you, isn't it? First of all, don't say presumptuous to me when we're about to have intercourse. How about that? Watch your mouth.
I've never said that.
Now here's the thing. That word ain't even in my repertoire, so you know you said that. I said, look, I put the pillow back there. That's quite presumptuous of me.
It's
Ma'am.
funny. It's funny. And I would say something like that, but I
definitely
don't.
would.
I do not recall making that statement.
Stacey, go to the car. So listen,
We actually
we
Go
talked
ahead.
about that, didn't we? So we talked about that on the episode.
no, not on the episode. This was on date night where we had that conversation.
Oh yeah. So in the beginning, that was one of my ideas. I was like, look, that's something we can do. She was like, it just seems so childish. Like
I'm
I'm
too old for
grown.
that.
I'm not.
I'm too old for that. I'm not going to the car to have sex.
My thing is like when you got to, you got to.
Now, if it is like we're out,
Laundry room.
we're out. We just had date night. So this is how it came up on date night. We were out. We're on date night. We were far away from home. We feeling all the feels, And I'm like, if I just asked you to pull back there in the back of this building, like, would you? And he said, yeah. I'm like, I think we're too old for that. Like, if we can't wait the
You know
hour
what
to
we're
get
too
back
old
home.
for? You know what we're too old for? To not be able to when we want to.
First of all, it's illegal. And he's talking about, ooh, that make it even better. No.
You see
What
how
it look-
now look,
what it
I
look
need y'all to
like?
sound off in the comments right now. Who y'all side with? Ooh, when it's dangerous, or when it's like
First of all, Minister Davis, what we look like being rolled up in the sit pad for indecent exposure.
we look like
Because-
it's lit.
No,
We look like it's lit.
no,
I go on any platform and say, hey,
it's too much.
it's undefiled. What you mean?
It's too
This
much.
marital bed is
That's not your
undefiled.
marital bed. That is your vehicle.
This marital Chrysler is undefiled.
First of all, it's a Chevy. We ain't
It's a
definitely.
Chrysler 300.
We definitely not doing nothing in your car.
Why not? A little ladder.
Where?
Little, okay.
That's too much.
You talking about me. You was all of 5 foot at max.
It's too much. Okay. So we said go to the car or wait till they're asleep. Melatonin. Melatonin is our friend.
Oh, Christmas. Everybody getting headphones. Soundproof. And we instituting headphone time.
Pull close and whisper and have a chair in the room.
Hold on. Y'all
So-
giving up game right now.
A chair. A chair is a great idea. We tried
What's the chair for?
because the bed makes a lot of noise. Chair's not gonna make a lot of noise.
You mean do it in a chair?
Yeah. Like you sit down.
My body ain't built for that. She too short. I got too much body. Her feet ain't even touching the ground. She ain't even got no leverage.
That's true. That's
Your legs can't be swinging at a little kid during the break.
we
That's
have to
just
get a
not-
short
That
chair.
ain't sexy.
Tell them to go outside and play. Turn up their TV. So
Tell them turn up their TV. Is this what y'all doing?
turn
This
your
what y'all
TV
do?
up. We about to go to sleep.
This what y'all doing? How do y'all even finesse that? Because it seems like at the age our kids are, they go catch on.
Well, Nia wouldn't.
No, not Nia, but
And apparently, from what
Everybody
Bray said
else.
when you told him we was about to come down here and do this, he wouldn't either.
oh, why can't I be down there when you record? Because we talk about sex. What even is that? Well, that's good, but you can't come downstairs.
Melatonin gummies is the best with the lavender bath bombs.
Okay.
Go play, eat a snack, watch YouTube. Sometimes you have to get on the floor. Ooh, that just sounds. See, that's all.
Now that's what I'm too old for.
So
I'm
bad
not
for my knees.
I'm not getting no rug burn.
Be spontaneous. Shanika said, Russ, I'm siding with you.
Yeah, I'm with Russ.
I'm with
okay.
Russ. I'm with Russ. Just tint the windows. Okay,
Thank you.
y'all is crazy.
Thank you. Wherever, I'm really wherever. If the mood is right, it can go. Right?
I'm with Russell on this one. Teamwork. Stay in your room till I say you can come out, says Brittany. Well, for us,
What do they say when y'all do this? Like other kids, like, okay, we know.
I think our kids are they just talk back too much is what I'm learning, because it seems like they just give their kids a directive.
It's gonna be a
and
bunch
they
of
go do
questions. Why? What were you in there doing? What was all that noise? Like,
It's definitely gonna be a bunch of questions. No, nobody got time to explain.
Yeah,
So
not at all.
At this point, we're sticking to Sunday, Monday. It can happen whenever. Tuesday through Saturday, they gotta go to sleep.
I'm not with it. I be trying to get the little man there, like, hey, yo, psst, come on. She'd be like, come on.
No, it's not cute to me. I don't feel no type of sexy when my kids is around.
It's
I'm
happened
not-
before.
It does, but I literally, like, you have to get me in the mood. It's not, I don't think I've ever, tell me I'm wrong.
Maybe I just missed it. Don't seem like I'm working that hard. It seems like it's
I
pretty.
mean, it don't take much.
Okay. I don't recall.
But when I'm in mommy mode, like, I don't naturally feel sexy. That's why, like, when you come and rub on my butt or whatever, I'm like, that's just not my natural,
So,
like, air
this
that
is what I'm
putting
talking
off.
about. You got to watch your choice of words. She's saying when I go over to her and rub on her butt. You can't say when I come and rub on your butt. That's nasty.
It's not actually, but
Yo, this is turning.
Anyways.
Is Sister Davis still on here?
no, she's not.
Because I can't.
Well, I don't know. She's not talking no more. Jay says, get a shower chair.
I can't, yo. This is
Lady
wild.
Tyrant says, if she's rolling right and Russ is gripping her right, her feet don't need to touch the ground.
Who was talking like this? What has happened to our sanctified
Hey.
chat?
Hey.
Oh my! This ain't even on my. Is this on YouTube?
Brittany says, tell them none of your business. Jay says, I bribe mine.
Yo, we not trying hard enough. This is what I'm saying.
Obviously, we're not. We're just like we're taking the lazy route. Just wait till they go to sleep.
Hey guys, headphone technology time. Mandatory headphones.
We gonna start breaking in and go in your room and don't come out till I tell you.
I like that.
I like that with
I
too.
like that.
I mean, Nia still with her room being right across the hall might be a little awkward, but she's still at an age where we can get away with it.
Yeah.
We can
If
still
we
go
just get
without
her,
explaining.
if we get her in a really good YouTube zone, we good. She gonna be locked in. She ain't gonna be worried about us.
All right, y'all. We gotta forward advance the conversation.
It's a good intro. I like y'all energy. Keep the same energy. You see, we ain't never had this much interaction on the episode. Look how y'all do.
You know, we know who you are, and he can't see YouTube, so she says it's Marcina. Duh.
Okay.
Tell them if they go to bed, the tooth fairy might come early. Works every time.
Okay.
Ray says music always helps. So music is not a route that Russell thinks is
We've tried it.
helpful.
We've tried it before.
Yeah, but I think when we've used music, it hasn't been because of the kids.
My thing is like, well, I guess if we're going by a lot of these suggestions, it's all kind of like obvious. But to me, if we never play music and then all of a sudden, like, we're just chilling and you start hearing like Chris Brown or like R. Kelly blasting from the bedroom, they're gonna be like, okay.
So that's what I need to ask. Are y'all playing like mood music or are you just playing music?
It better be.
No. You might be trying to throw them off. You might be playing like some party music. You never know. Like, no, we chilling.
We definitely not gonna be getting it in to no gospel music.
Lollipop.
Lollipop.
Party music.
Oh no, that's definitely like
That's not obvious.
that's very obvious.
Shayla says Nia is too smart for that.
We got a
That's very
senior.
true.
We got a senior in high school here. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, I think to me, it's harder when you have older kids who might know what's happening. Like the younger kids, I feel like they're still, even Cinco, who's 11, I think he's still oblivious enough
Yeah.
to not know what's going on. He might get curious,
One
but
time he
it's not
said.
for sure.
One time early, he was like, "Dad, what were you guys in there doing?"
Oh, yeah.
And we weren't even really doing anything.
Yeah,
Like, we were just
asking
in there.
the
We were just
probing
talking. He said, "I think you guys were in there kissing." It's like, "Ooh, that's what you think?" Ooh. Like his mind ain't with it. Yeah, we probably got one more One more year.
But Michael, who is 17, who is fully aware of what
I feel so bad
what
for
that
him.
sounds like.
I feel so bad for him. Yeah.
We asked him once though. He said he didn't hear nothing, so we'll just take his word for it. I don't
I'll
think
take
he
his
would
word
say
for
it
it.
if he did though.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
All right. So what else did we talk about? Oh, we talked about how we learned about sex. And Russell had a very funny story. I wish my story was that entertaining.
That's not, that was one isolated incident. Okay. All right. No, I was saying though, like, there was a point, this is what they never told us. So that was something that I wish I had a little more education on prior to not just marriage, but just adulthood. Like, I've never had a conversation about sex. Everything I learned about it came from magazines, pornos, and talking to kids my age. And half of them was lying.
While we're having this conversation, y'all go ahead and tell us, like, when y'all first became aware. Like, did y'all parents have conversations with y'all? How did that sex talk go or not go? So for me, my mom was she was pretty open. Like, we had talks, maybe not like this goes there and this is what you do and this is what it feels like, but we talked about sex. But my godmother, Michelle, who sometimes listens and probably not on here today, but she was real candid with me. Like, it was very early on when she was like, don't let none of them little boys mess with you. All they gonna give you is a wet butt. And I was like, well, why would my butt get wet? Like, I had no idea what she was talking about.
Did she explain?
Yes, she did. I'm not gonna tell y'all what she said to me
Lord.
on here.
Oh,
but I was
man.
like, ooh, I don't want none of that. Like, I was so confused. Like, why would my butt get wet? And she was like, oh, let me tell you. And yeah, it was very graphic. So I had an introduction very early to not necessarily, again, what goes where, but the process of having sex. So I knew what it was. And then I had a lot of friends who were sexually active very young. Like, I'm talking about middle school. So they was very candid with their stories. And so I learned at home first, but then I had a real quick introduction when my friends started.
Yeah. The first time I saw or had some sex education, I was staying at, we talked about this on the episode, but what I saw was a white woman in all leather walking some white man on the leash.
Oh.
Yes, mistress. Yeah, you're a bad boy. And she spanked him, and I was like, what's this? Ooh.
Lord.
Ooh. That was my intro to sex.
And like back in our day, we had real sex and we had Emmanuel in space.
Oh no, this wasn't even like HBO soft porn. This was like Spice Channel. Y'all remember Spice Channel? Yeah, no, this was like,
I don't think though, real sex was not soft porn.
it was.
That was like,
No, that's soft.
well, I mean, it wasn't like
I done
hardcore.
seen
Yeah.
some-
No,
That ain't
not like
nothing.
that. But it wasn't like Emmanuel Space was more like a series with a
It was so
theme
unrealistic.
and
First of all,
but they went there on real sex. So anyways, let me read some of the comments because we get in a little behind. So Jay says he got an 8-hour playlist, so he set the mood beforehand. Shayla says older kids, yes, I got caught. LOL. Ooh.
if you're comfortable, you're going
We'd
to spill
love
that
to hear
tea.
that story.
Go and get the type in.
Lady Tyrant says we've been going to bed playing slow jams a few times a week for 16 years. I don't know if you want me to say his name, but Frog listens to music anyway, so it's not unusual.
That is genius. It's happening anyway.
Yeah.
Starting tonight. That's happening. Yo, thank you. This show changes lives.
Shanika says, my mom definitely had the sex conversation with me. She was very open and made it comfortable for me to talk to her about that.
Shayla said I had to learn on my own. Jalen said I learned about it from HBO After Dark. My mom just asked me, are you fudging? I like that edit, that self-edit. Shay, I was introduced early, but I learned through experience. All right. Yeah, so I think one of the things, like now that we're all fully functioning adults, we have to be intentional about doing a better job of passing the baton of knowledge about stuff that's really consequential. Like when you think about the things we educate our kids on, there's a lot of it. There's a large margin of it that is like not as consequential as some of the stuff that we're scared to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Sex is probably one of the most consequential things that somebody can do, right? It's very tempting. It's a urge that everyone's born with. I'm not everyone. Of course, there's some other factors, but most people are born with that urge. So we have to teach them how to like handle that, teach them how to do that.
Yeah. So I've definitely been very open with my oldest son. I introduced sex in a very mild way with the younger kids. Like they know the proper terms for things. They know that babies come out of your vagina. They know, you know, that mommy and daddy have to make babies. They don't really know the process. But my oldest son, I've always been really open and really candid with him about sex because I'm like, number one, he's a boy, and in today's society they get a pass with that stuff. But I'm like, yo, even though you're a boy, the stuff you're going to be doing is with somebody's daughter. So like, let's talk about the appropriate way to handle yourself when you're with somebody's daughter.
Yeah.
So I've definitely been, and he got caught doing some stuff at like 12 that he wasn't supposed to, just talking real crazy. So I had to have a conversation. First of all, how do you even know about this? Number one, we ain't talked about it. So are you like Googling? Are you YouTubing? Like, tell me where you're getting this particular information from, because this ain't nothing we done never talked about.
See,
and I realized that, yo, his friends is telling him stuff. When he go over somebody's house, like they're watching stuff. So like, okay, we gonna be for real.
See, and that's why it's good that you were preemptive and intentional about having those conversations, because truth is they gonna learn anyway. It's better that you are the first to introduce this, so that way you can present the information in a way that you know is beneficial for your child, rather than them getting it from Boo Boo the fool down the block who's just making up a story. Man, I lost my virginity last night. How? Man, we did this. Lying.
Yeah, they gonna be telling them about the red stuff and the white stuff, and your kid's gonna be all confused.
But I was.
Khadijah says, I learned early and I'm thankful for a partner at the time being patient with me. Shayla says, my daughter sent me the vomiting face and asked me to stop. That's embarrassing.
That's hilarious.
That's embarrassing. Lady Tyron says, I left home before it was time for that conversation. So experience was my best teacher. And then I met Frog and fell in love. And we both experienced a chemistry that we didn't know was possible.
Rahima Henderson says, but in the school system, we are always faced with that. I definitely would appreciate parents have this discussion. Laugh out loud. Laughing, but very serious. Jay says, I've been that kid that have a room across the hall. -1 star. Don't recommend. It's scarring. Gotta be creative with it.
I'm gonna say, sometimes parents, we go too far, right? It's just too much, too soon.
Or with the conversation.
Yeah, with the conversation and with the acts, right? Like, if you know that you're a wild one, do your best to keep that out of your kid's face.
Oh, you got a lot of nerve.
I do my best to keep it out my kid's face.
It's your best?
It's my best.
Like, quiet down.
It's my best. Trust me. I can't do no more.
AJ says, I guess I was the only one. Welcome, family. Welcome. If y'all remember, AJ was on the Locker Room episode. I guess I was the only one that was introduced to sex ed early with extra R's in there, like 5th, 6th grade. Mom like, boy, do you need some condoms?
Oh, wow.
He got the hands on his face. No, mom. No, mom.
Wow. So Shayla
playing?
says, I definitely talked with my kids at an early age and still. Rahima says, I don't think school is the most appropriate place to hear it firsthand.
Absolutely not. That's not where you want to get introduced to that, yo. But the truth is, a lot of us, like, that's where you hear about it. You hear about it from your friends first. And
I think for parents, sometimes it's easy to be naively unaware, right?
Yeah.
Even though I was having like the base talks with my oldest son, I was definitely under the impression that he wasn't even thinking about that. So I'm like, he still plays Pokemon. Like, why would he ever? But this is also why it's very important to do phone checks for your underage children, because during just a random phone check, I saw some things that no mom wants to see in a 12-year-old's phone. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, that's, when you think about it, for those of us who remember, like, that middle school time, 7th, 8th grade, your body is different. It's doing different stuff. You feeling different things. I remember the sniper just out of nowhere. I'm chilling, minding my business, all of a sudden, erection. It's like, oh, I can't get up. I'm in my seat. It's time to switch classes. Nope, not me. I'm posted. You know what I'm saying? Because your body's just changing. It's adjusting, right? And it's in that period where we discover ourselves. That's when we discover our bodies, right? That's when
You
most
become
of
aware
us,
of other people's bodies.
most of us, our introduction to sex is a solo venture, right? It's rare that, well, I don't know. I'm speaking on this. It's rare that most people's first sexual experience is with another person. A lot of times it's with yourself first, right? Masturbation, exploring your own body, right? I want to know. I want to survey the room, right? How do we as people do handling solo sexuality while we're with someone, while we're married, while we're in relationships with somebody who we're supposed to be connected with? How important is solo satisfaction when you're in a marriage? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, so I think that we talked about this on the episode, and I think we stated our position very clearly as far as our relationship. But I will say that when I wasn't married, it was a big part of my relationship with whoever that I was with, because so in the single season, I discovered masturbation. Like I think as far as masturbation, I was a late bloomer. Like I wasn't doing that in high school and afterwards, you know. So when I discovered that, I can make my body do stuff that can't nobody else make my body do, it became a requirement for me to feel satisfied in that area. So I wasn't reaching my point of climax in just having sex with somebody. So it would be something that I would do either before they got there or after they left or while they was knocked out and I went to the bathroom.
That was your beginning of it?
No, once I found myself.
Oh, okay.
That's how I handled myself.
Yeah,
that's how I handled myself in a relationship. It was normal to me to have sex with my partner. They are satisfied. You know, women can still have sex, not climax and be satisfied. So for the most part, I was satisfied. But if I wanted to climax, I had to take care of myself. So I either did that before they came over or I did that after we finished the act. So it was a staple for me in a part of my relationship. This is how I
please myself.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm about to be way more transparent than I want to be with y'all family. So whatever. I remember the first time that I climaxed. Oh my God. First of all, I thought something was wrong. I thought something happened. But I had a homie who was like, yo, you ever blah, 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 blah? And I said, huh? He said, you ever check off? And it was like,
y'all be having some weird conversations.
Yo, I was like, now here's the thing. I didn't even know what that was. Mm-hmm. I'm so green. I'm like, yeah. He was like, yo, I did it for the first time. He was like, it was crazy. It was like, I can't believe it happened. I was like, oh, yeah. So didn't know what it was, right?
Now you have to find out.
Now I got to find out. But there's impossible for me. I'm a boy. I can't be, hey, what's that? There's no way to introduce that conversation, right? I don't even know how I came across the information. But I do know the first time, oh my God, it sent me down. My family might not have seen me for like a week. Got coming. Hey, everybody, through my back, lock the door, getting some water, and I'm right back to business, right? It's like this is amazing. Wow. Fast forward to my first time experiencing sex. Mm-hmm. It was just awful. Now, I'm pretty sure I was just as much as the reason why it was awful as, the young lady, but it was just bad, right? Then what messed me up is because she tried to do that to me, and I'm like, yo, you not doing that right. Like, I'm an expert at that. You can't touch me better than me. But I'm going down a tangent. But I remember that it took me a very long time to find an enjoyable sexual experience with another person. You know what I mean? Because number one, I was trying to have sex opposite of emotions, and some people can. My body just ain't wired like that. So I had to be with somebody who I really cared about. But I remember the first time I ever attached feeling to sex, I was like, wow, okay. Oh, all right. This is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people who aren't even aware of how much their solo sexuality inhibits their, you know what I'm saying, sex with another person.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a selfish act. It's always been a selfish act. The goal is just for me to please myself. And just because I incorporate somebody else doesn't mean like, you know, I know what I'm doing. These comments must be wild.
Yeah. So AJ says a lot of one-on-one time.
Not the little devil emoji. Go down.
Rahima says, please be aware my third and fifth graders are talking about private parts and making inappropriate suggestions. Of course, they don't think it's appropriate to talk to their parents about it. That's sad. Jay says, I say it's huge. How do you know what will get you to your destination if you don't know? Shayla says solo satisfaction should not be a big part due to you having a partner. Rahima says, as a single person, I don't have a need for self-pleasure. However, my partner has that need mainly because we are waiting for marriage. But for me personally, I don't have a need for masturbation. However, I have learned that conversation is something I need to feel comfortable in kissing my partner and engaging in physical intimacy. You want to read Khadijah?
Yep. Since we on the topic of sex, to all the women ages 30 and up, is it true that our sex drive increases? Curiosity kills the cat.
Okay, we're going to come back to that. Sierra says, it shouldn't matter if you're communicating in the moment what you like and dislike, but also if the partner isn't paying attention to your nonverbal cues, then solo will have to be non-selfish. I hope that made sense. Lady Tyrant says, me and my husband be having... Okay, yep.
No, read it. No, read it.
Me and my husband.
I like how she giving it up on YouTube.
Me and my husband be having threesomes with just us. I'm the third person. So I'm gonna need some more explanation. I'm pretty sexually intelligent.
I'm intrigued. I want to know where this is going.
Unless she's talking about herself, them two. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sexually intelligent.
Get it how you live.
But it was something about what you were saying. Oh, and I think a lot of people, or even Jay, was alluding to this. Like, so for me, I do agree. What happened for me personally is I discovered a lot about myself and how I like to be touched from masturbation, right? I know now what it feels like to climax. Before, I was like, people were asking me like, I think that's what I was talking about. Like, are you coming? And, you know, when we having our conversation, I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, had no idea if I was or wasn't until I did by myself. And then I was like, yeah, definitely not doing that.
That ain't happened yet. If that's what, they ain't never happened before.
I done told people some blatant lies because that does not happen. Geez. So for me, I did become familiar with those parts of myself. But now that I'm in a committed, very healthy relationship, we have a very healthy sex life, it's just not needed. And when I was still continuing that while we were married and having sex, I feel like it took away from our sexual experience.
That's real. Sierra says, I teach my students a program called PICK, and it focuses on the relationships and levels of intimacy so they aren't confused that sex is only the physical factor and not the main one. Shayla replied to Khadijah's comment about the heightened sexual libido. She says, I feel that it does, in my opinion, unless you have something standing in the way of it.
I would say that I agree with that as well. For me, again, it was because I was more aware of like what made me tick. When I was having sex in my younger ages, pre-30, it was for the person that I was with. I literally got no real pleasure out of it. It was something fun to do, but it wasn't too enjoyable. Now that I know what it can be like, yeah. If I could, barring all of our situational circumstances, we would do it much more often than what we do.
All the I think it's kind of wild that when y'all are on like a upward trajectory, men
are going down.
On the descent. It's
Yeah.
kind of wild. What age is that supposed to happen?
Where the man is
Yeah.
declining. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's.
Like 40.
I don't know. I've never been
So
with anybody
sad.
over
So sad.
over 40, so I don't know.
So sad. What else we talk about?
I don't remember.
Huh?
So we can take questions now because I literally do not remember. We
Okay.
got about 15 minutes left, anyways.
All right, what's
Let
the
me see
battery
what the
life?
battery life is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. We at 32%.
35 and up.
35 and up.
Okay. All right. Questions. Hit us with it.
How do you handle that?
handle what?
I mean, I know we haven't experienced that, but how do you handle, like, if women are going on the decline, and if it's true that men are going on the decline, how do you balance that?
Well, in 2022, we got all types of things to do. There's Viagra, there's Blue Chew, a plethora of things that just gonna keep the party going, you know.
Yeah. Does that, for you as a man, if we got to that point, would you feel a way about if I said, hey, like, look, I'm needing it more, like, I need you to take something? Is that, how do you approach that conversation? That seems to me like I would be so trepidatious to have that conversation with you.
Yeah, I feel like as a man, like, if you can't, like, any dude knows, like, any moment where you're supposed to and your body don't respond, that's the worst feeling in the world. Right? So
you
most
wanna do
men,
something to
most men,
fix
you ain't
it.
gonna have to ask. You know what I mean? They
Would
gonna
you
try to
tell me
tell you what.
that you had to, or is that something that a man should share with his partner, that, like,
Well, the way God works with me and my body, I'm not gonna have to worry about this. We're speaking
Okay.
we're speaking it into existence. Okay, the way my body's functioning right now is the way it's going to function.
for the rest of your life?
I don't know about the rest of my life, but God gonna carry me through my 50s. He gonna give me the 60. Watch what I say.
Okay.
But nah, I think not just with this, but in any sexual scenario, it's important to be comfortable, right? So we're having those conversations, right? So if there was something that was hindering you enjoying the experience, that's, you know, for me, like, I'm a pleaser, so I can't enjoy it if you're not into it. So if I'm up here like, hold on, give me a second, you know, like trying to rev up the engine, like, this ain't it. I'm gonna do what I got to do to keep the spark going. You know, that's me.
Okay. What do y'all think? Shayla says, or Jay says, put the honey in the Henny. Is that
Does
like
that really work?
Is that like an aphrodisiac?
Nah, that's the same thing when we was on our honeymoon that we took. They ain't do nothing for us.
It wasn't Henny.
No, it's the same company. The pink cat. It's in honey form. You could put it in like drinks and it dilute it, but it's the same. It's the same
I
thing.
think I seen a TikTok video about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that
Yeah,
really
that
work?
thing didn't work. That little pill that we took, I didn't feel like that worked for me.
Nah. Well, it's hard to tell anyway because ain't like we
That's true.
need help in that department. Like,
That's true. That's true.
I couldn't decipher. I mean, it was lit, but I mean, I can't tell if it's more lit than usual. You know.
Shayla says, well, it has to be more than the sex life to keep you there. That's
Facts.
true. That's
Facts.
true. But recognizing that it is a huge part of the relationship. And I don't know, you know, we haven't made it to that point in life. I don't know if you've been together for so long or whatever, if other parts sustain and because you have less sex, like, it's just something that you've become accustomed to. And it becomes that's just how your relationship functions.
I can't wait.
But as people who got married a little later in life, like, I feel like we got a few years left before we, hopefully, at least in my mind, before we're like, we don't have to do it.
I hope more than just a few years. Marcina talking about
If they say 40,
Look, we got people on this chat right now who's keeping it lit. Look, I'm trying to be like them. Okay, look, a few years. What?
AJ said not the party pill. Listen, so we were on our honeymoon. Pretty much anything went. So we were at did you take one or was it just me?
No, I took one that had a little rhinoceros.
Oh, it
with
did.
a big old horn on it. You know, I don't think I should have took it. 'Cause it looked like them joints that be in the gas station. Hers looked official. Like hers looked like it was like really an official company. Mine, you know, they was warning me like, hey, make sure you gotta take this. Don't drink it with caffeinated beverages.
Drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water with them. Like, hi.
She had me thinking I was getting ready to take ecstasy.
Y'all done gave us some ecstasy.
Like,
what is this?
I was like, I'd have been down that road before. I don't want to do that. She's like, no, it's it'll just make it more intense and da. So we took it at dinner.
By that time, we had already, you know, we had the point of the honeymoon where we had already been flipping.
Having fun.
At that point, you know. So we sit on the couch. Like, you feel anything? No, we's in the restaurant. You feel anything? No, I don't feel anything yet. You? Nah. I mean,
I started to get hot, like physically hot. Like,
oh, that's right. You
like
I need water.
I was like, I think I need
they
some
was
more
right.
water.
You need water. They did say that.
Well, maybe it did. I don't know.
I don't know. It was a fun night.
Shanika has a question.
Was that the same night?
The same night as what? Is the bathroom?
Our
First of all, let's talk about
our
this
highlight.
afterwards.
No, we can talk about it. The highlight of the honeymoon.
Let's talk about this afterwards.
The highlight of the honeymoon.
I don't remember. It all kind of blurs together.
Because
now.
if it was
definitely the next morning that
it might have worked. Because that was something.
Run that back. Hold on. Let me I backtrack. I take that back.
It might have worked.
I think we was just so in the mood that we didn't recognize, but yeah, it might have worked. So Shanika wants to know if the honey stuff really works.
Sierra said that's the kid maker. Warning.
Which one is the kid maker?
She responded to that comment. Does the honey stuff work?
Oh.
Sierra said, and Sierra also said about putting the honey in the Henny. Sierra said, nah, because that's a never ending session. What?
Oh, yeah, nah. I'm glad I don't drink no more because I don't have no time for none of that. Drunk sex is the worst to me.
What?
It is. Yeah. I don't like it. I'm
not hyping up none of my sinful ways, okay?
I don't like it.
Well, this is lit, but yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like the way it makes me feel the next day. I didn't enjoy it.
I'm not highlighting or bigging up none of my past ways because I've been delivered. I'm not gonna do that.
Jay says, "Yep, do it. We are not encouraging the honey stuff."
Nah, I'm getting my hold on some of that honey stuff. I'm trying to see what that do.
What, you gonna put in some milk?
Why I gotta go in milk? Put in some Pepsi. What does it matter? Put it in a tea. Do it matter what you mix it in with?
I don't know. Everybody's making a very delineation about it being with Henny.
That's just what they do on TikTok.
On TikTok, it was Casamigos that they put it in.
I ain't got to put in no liquor. Just get some Earl Grey tea.
Not some Earl Grey.
Some Earl Grey. Have a lovely evening.
So while we're talking about that, let's talk about what place assistive devices, toys, lubricants, honey, aphrodisiac, or things, enhancers, what place do they play? Because I do think that they can be dependent. Like you can become dependent on those things to achieve a certain level of climax. And then when you don't want to use that, or there's a time where you don't, it's not the same.
I mean, I just feel like whatever works for y'all, like go for it. Whatever works for y'all. Like say you marry somebody who's just not well endowed. He can't reach the spots that you'd like him to reach. You might need more assistance in that area.
Oh, you talking about like being married and using
toys.
Like what kind of toys?
A Royal Survivor, whatever.
Oh, that ain't the same thing. You said you said something in relation to size.
Maybe I ain't like he put on the strap. I ain't saying that, but maybe they use
about.
toys. Like that could be a thing.
AJ said, "Oh, this live lit."
I feel like I'm not representing my ministry well right now.
No, see, that's the problem.
I'm just joking.
That's the problem,
and that's true. We talked about it in the episode. Quick sidebar, and we'll get back to talking about this.
I gotta take my shoes off.
This is why we had a lot of people going up into our marriage that were like writing us concerned, like, yo, like I'm concerned for y'all sex life. Like you need to test these waters. Like how you know like it's not gonna be lit. Like what's going on? You know what I mean? And I just feel like the church has dropped the ball with not talking about sex. Like most of the time it's just don't do it. Don't do it or you're gonna go to hell. You know what I'm saying? And now you got a bunch of people feeling like, man, I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy sex. I like talking nasty. I can't do that if I give my life to God. It's like, what? All right. Anyways, sidebar over with. And I'm a church boy. It's gonna land here at some point in the episode. Moving on, back to vibrators.
Yeah, no. So what we're basically trying to say is healthy conversation about this type of stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. So this is conversation that we have with each other all the time. And the platform of the podcast is what they never told us. Like, we're going to share all the stuff that we had to figure out on our own.
I've heard a lot of dudes have a problem with toys. Like they feel intimidated by it. But after I never thought about it like the way you described it during the episode. You were like, there's just stuff that men can't do. Like you ain't gonna be able to spin, vibrate,
heat up, and stimulate the clitoris. Like you just can't.
I feel like there's a way we can figure this out.
You just can't. You can't do it. I'm sorry. They have the sex toy industry has created a lock on certain areas of sex. Like there's just certain things that man will never be able to do to match what they sell on them shelves.
I disagree.
Well, whatever. Disagree if you want to. I'm telling you from personal experience.
I can figure it out.
I can
figure it out. Spin, friction.
No, you just moving your body. That's it.
Get some warm water.
No.
Create some heat.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. That's why I couldn't become dependent on that because number one, it's not real. Right.
Well, we incorporate stuff.
We could incorporate stuff to enhance, not replace.
I don't know. That Rose done put some brothers out the business. That Rose done expedited some relationships ending.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I figured out I don't really need you.
It's been a whole lot of sneaky links got canceled because of that Rose. Okay. So the fact that we let that into the, you know.
But again, it's to enhance, not to replace.
Yeah. Ain't no replacing a kid.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Ain't no replacing the kid.
So I think that they are appropriate in the bedroom when they're used to enhance the sexual experience that you're having with your partner. But if it comes to a point where I'm now choosing that over being intimate with you, then there's a problem. That's my personal opinion.
I'm with it. I do, and I also think there's like a balance there because at the same time, there has to be like the bedroom got to be a place where there's like a certain level of trust, safety, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, right? If you going into the bedroom with like a weak ego and now because your girl is experiencing pleasure and it's coming from a toy and not from you, now you feeling like, I'm jealous of this, battery operated toy. Like, I don't know. I feel like,
and I think that's why a lot of men don't like it.
I feel like it's shallow. Like at the end of the day, you selfish for having session after session and she goes in the bathroom and finishes herself off and you're perfectly fine with that. But you could be in a room, being a part of the experience with the toy and helping her achieve that, coaching her through it, talking to her, being verbal. But instead you just want to feel like a man and I did it. No, you didn't, sir. She's unsatisfied. She loves you, but she didn't have a good time.
I'm gonna tell you, in my personal experience, they didn't ever know that was happening. Because if they did, it would have been a real issue.
That's nothing. Y'all got to stop lying to these dudes.
It would have been a real issue.
Yeah, to keep it.
Because I couldn't have that conversation at all. No, that wasn't gonna happen. So let's read some comments, and I'm gonna go look at Lady Tyrance's message in our inbox while you do.
Khadijah says vibrators and lubricants are the supporting actors. All right, Shay. I think you can change things up once in a while as far as devices. OJ said, I've been missing this with the flavor. Y'all, wow. Shelly said, Brandy's right about the industry and what they have created. Sarah Blake says, agreed. Khadijah, and make sure to have a safety word when you're uncomfortable. Khadijah, I can't have this conversation with you. Listen,
she grown. She got a whole kid. Word? She got a whole kid.
I don't even want to do nothing that I got to have a safety word. That's wild. Jay says, you also have to have a partner that's down with the experimentation too, or it can turn into that movie Addicted. True. Pineapples.
So Lady Tyrants gave us some clarification on the threesome, how a threesome is possible with your partner.
Hold on. Wait, here we go. Okay.
So the two people are y'all. Y'all are having intercourse. But while we are having intercourse, I'm also pleasing myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You in with that?
That ain't too far from. I just never heard it called that before.
Okay. No, I'm with it.
So AJ says, I say do what's needed. Talk, explore, be open. What's your partner's sex language, so to speak? There's a doc on Netflix called Sex Room, if I'm not mistaken, and another called Goop Lab. They should help. It's interesting and informative. So AJ, you should have told us that before so we could have watched it and we could have came back and relayed the information. So now we're gonna have to have like a sex episode part 2 follow-up, part 3 follow-up, so we can go watch those two.
Hey, yo, thank you for the stars, family. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Jay says get some different wigs too, but not them set it off.
Huh? Yo, I really think Jay just sits and thinks of the most wildest things he could possibly say in this moment and gets to typing it, yo. Yeah, so ultimately, I think on the episode we definitely approached like wellness and stuff, and I think this recap is more so just talking about the fun that can happen when y'all on the same page, right? Mm-hmm. And when y'all come together as a couple, like y'all should. There's a lot of places in life that you gotta stress. The bedroom is not that place. We gotta worry about bills. We gotta worry about life, kids, whatever it is. When we in here, we shouldn't be stressed out about this, right?
I agree.
Yeah, and there's a lot of us who just don't know how to communicate around that stuff. I know the male ego be fragile, so a lot of girls aren't comfortable expressing, like, I don't like when you do this, or I'm unsatisfied here. You know, a lot of men can't swallow that pill.
Yeah, I think we said it on the sex episode part 2, but like I'm real heavy on now. I'm gonna teach you how to satisfy me. Mm-hmm. Like I have given up completely on unfulfilled sex. It's just not something that I ever want to experience again. So if there is ever a time where like you're not getting right or you want to try something different and it just don't float my boat, I'm not going to hesitate to say it. I hope that it wouldn't hurt your feelings. But in the end, if you want this to be pleasurable for both of us, then you have to listen and you have to learn. And vice versa. Same with me. I have to listen and I have to learn. Like, and if it takes a lifetime to learn exactly how you like it, then when I married you, I committed to that. But I'm not going to get irritated when you're like, oh, I don't like it when you do that, and just be like, oh, okay, because I probably learned it from somebody else. So if you don't like it, I don't want to be doing the other N-word tricks on you. Like, show me your tricks.
You get real loose on this here family platform.
I didn't even say nothing.
The other N-word tricks. It's we talked about that too. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we get exposed to before we get with the one or the person that you really want to settle down with. Mm-hmm. And by the time we get with them, we've incorporated this whole identity around things that we deem to be successful in the bedroom space, right? So we think it's monolithic. Like, oh, I drive him crazy when I do this.
And he like,
It's like, yo,
she about to do that thing.
It's like, yo, that hurts. You're hurting me. I don't enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. Like, everybody's different. And you have to, not just in sex, but in love in general, like, you got to learn how to love people. Mm-hmm. And AJ, when you said sex languages, is that like a thing?
I think he was talking, he must learn it from them. He said sex language, so to speak.
Like, there's love languages. I wonder if there's like an idea behind somebody's sex language.
We might have a market.
I can't write that book.
I can't.
Okay. All right. Yo, wow.
Let's see.
I want to know you got comments?
Yeah, Jay said, I think he was talking about you just saying he sits there and makes up stuff. He said, yeah, pretty much, but it's true. Got to give examples, so I'm not giving out bad advice. And we just got a bunch of laughing emojis and a relieved. So me and Russell went in depth about our favorite emoji with Arinthian just used the relieved emoji. So I don't know if in this situation it's good or bad, but that is our favorite emoji right now.
Raheem said, yes, there's a sex language.
Yeah, and Jay also said, yes, it is. Go watch Sex Room.
I'm going to check that out.
So we're going to watch that.
I'm going to check that out.
We'll do that. You ain't telling us to go watch no porn, though.
No, it's like educational.
Okay. You don't know that.
Well, I tried watching it. We cut it on. It was, you know how you be doing things. I suggest stuff and you be like, I didn't grab me. We tried watching it before.
I don't remember.
I'm sure you don't. But I want to know, how do we handle, and I think someone's actually asked me this before and I didn't have an answer, but how do you handle sexually trying to teach somebody how to satisfy you in ways that they're not comfortable? right?
Oh, we did get that question.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so say, you know, in my context, I always liked, I don't know, what's something that's kind of outside the box? Feet stuff. I really love feet. And she's like, yo, I'm uncomfortable with you messing with my feet. Like, I don't want my feet have anything to do with our intercourse. How do you navigate that stuff? Is it healthy to just abandon desires that you have for somebody you love because they're uncomfortable? Or is it something that you attempt? How do we navigate that stuff?
I'm going to put my personal opinion in there and say that for me, in our marriage, and I'm speaking only in marriage, adapted the mentality that if it doesn't make me feel demeaned, disgusted, disrespected, then I will at least try it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that I need to verbalize why my no is a no. So if you ask for something and I'm just like, no, that's nasty, I don't want to do that, that's not good enough. Like how you always ask me, what's the feeling behind it? I need to be able to verbalize, like, that makes me feel disrespected.
But
like,
what do you do if, like, that's still something, like, because you don't shut that off? Like,
well, yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, I have to be able to explain that. And to me, as my partner, you have to understand that. And we have to find a common ground.
Because that's a lot of things to navigate, right? So say you do everything right. Say you were like, yo, we're going to save ourselves. We're going to navigate. I still think even though you're doing that, you still got to have a conversation, you know? But say you've never had sex. Say you're a virgin and you saved yourself for marriage. You get there and you get married and you say, hey, you know what? Like, I want you to, like, put a leash on me. I want you to spank me. I want you to, like, tie me up. And the other person's like, yo, I'm not comfortable with that. What do you do? It's just scenario. Don't.
No, I was just gonna say, I think if you marry a virgin, you have to be willing. You have to know that you have to baby step. Like, there's no way that you just think that you're gonna marry someone who's never had a sexual experience in their life, and you just about to blow them out the water with a leash.
My thought is, though, but, like, what do you do when there's something that's important to you that the other person, for whatever reason, isn't comfortable with?
Marriage,
you know what I
all
mean?
about compromise.
You know what I'm saying? That's difficult. I want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think?
So we're hearing that Sex Room is an old English lady building people's sex rooms. And Ashley says she's going to watch the documentaries too. Yeah, we should all watch. And then we have a What They Never Told Us group. If y'all didn't know, while we're waiting on y'all,
advertise that.
while y'all waiting on y'all responses, people are joining, so we have to do something with it.
No, we gotta shut it
down. We have a group, and I think this is where some of those conversations can take place. Is in the group. Like, we can all go watch the documentary and we can have like a book club about it. She got right. Michael's up there. Lady Tyrant says marriage is all about compromise. So an explanation should be enough for you to understand why that doesn't work for me. I've had this conversation with a friend. I that's what I said too. I do hear you saying, though, what if it's like a real desire or a real need of mine and you are just taking a hard stance saying, I'm unwilling to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, for some people, oral sex is a no, right? Some like, I'm just not going to do that. DJ Khaled went viral for
saying he don't do oral.
He just does not do it. Now,
That's wild.
His lady seems, and she ain't really voiced her opinion, but the way she was looking when he said it, it was like, well, like for me, I'd be a little irritated.
Yeah.
Especially when he said that he expects to receive it, but you don't expect to give it out.
That's crazy.
Like, for me, that's a staple in our sexual relationship. So if you were just like, yo, I can't do that, it's going to have to be a really good reason why.
What would suffice?
I don't know. Like, maybe
I was abused when I was younger and it's traumatized.
And make you sick to your stomach or something.
Well, that would have to make you feel terrible.
It wouldn't, because I can't imagine doing that. And I'm a female and I love it. I can't put my head around doing that particular thing.
I don't care what you say or how understanding you think you are. You let somebody try and do that on you and they go down and go, what is the problem? Excuse me. Like, there's no way that's gonna fly.
I am cracking up.
Y'all will never attempt it again. Ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no coming back from that at all. Baby, I'm sorry, it's not you, I promise.
I'm gonna do it. Hold on, wait. We are childish. Ain't no coming back from that.
No, we would get into worse. Like
It's
we would get into
talking
worse.
about something. No, I get it. No, you don't. You ain't nobody that understand it. Ain't nobody that understand it. It's over. This relationship, this marriage is over with. The part for me was, I'm gonna do it.
Wait. You need to go to jail. Okay, anyways, we are so far behind anything. So we have comments.
I'm crying.
AJ says, I think both docs are a great starting point for someone who may be oblivious to the options there are in the sex world and ways to spice things up in the bedroom, different stories and motivations, how sex really can change your relationship, both positive and negative. That's good. We are definitely going to check those out. Sierra says, nope, you can't expect it and not willing to give it, bro. Let that money go to his head. That's that conditional love, rich mess. Boy, bye.
Bro, that's a wild arrangement.
Arinthia says, yeah, you gonna feel some type of way.
Ain't no way you're not gonna feel
First
that
of all, the clip of us going, it's gonna go viral. Like, I feel it in my stomach.
Who posted that?
I am.
You gonna ruin my
I am.
I ain't gonna have no more ministry
They
after
go see
this.
another side of Mr. Look. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, he posted it.
Sierra, no, we already read that. Ashley says, compromise and time, and maybe once a year you'd be willing to try it. Yeah, like that's like birthday stuff.
Yeah, I feel like honestly though, like when it comes to that space, you have to. I think you said this. Like you just have to be willing to try. Like maybe there's something I've never tried before. Maybe I am a little uncomfortable, but I've never done it. Or maybe I have done it, but it was with somebody who isn't this person. Like if we're gonna be together for the rest of our life, we cannot come here with these same 3 positions.
No, you're gonna have to try everything at least once.
Like, yo, it's gonna get stale real quick. You gotta be imaginative. Like you gotta be willing, like I don't think there's a way around it. Yeah.
Agreed. Lady Tyrant says, if oral sex is mandatory, what happens when medical issues makes it no longer possible? So we kind of talked about medical issues prohibiting sex in a relationship on the episode. And I think that's like an extenuating circumstance, right? Yeah. In any situation where there are extenuating circumstances where your partner cannot perform or whatever, then you just got to be willing to give that up. I know people personally who have been in situations where a medical condition has prohibited that and they've been given a quote unquote pass. I don't agree with that. I think there are other ways. People? Yeah. I think there are other ways to fulfill those needs without
that's so tough.
Taking sex outside of your relationship.
That's so tough.
But it also depends on time. Like if we're a young married couple and something happens and you can't perform anymore, like a lifetime of that may change my mind. Yeah, but you just diagnosed. No, we gonna work it out.
I don't care. I ain't giving out no passes.
That's selfish.
Leave me. You gonna leave me? I don't care if I can't talk. If I can't do nothing, I'm gonna be typing, "You are outside of your mind." No, like you not doing that. Leave me before you do that. Goodness.
Candy says, I missed the whole playback. Which playback?
She's talking about the episode recap.
Oh, you missed this whole thing?
Oh yeah.
You're going to have to catch this on the rerun because this was lit. This was lit.
Yeah, but it is that time, y'all. We about to slide. If you have questions, hit us with them real quick. We'll take a few minutes to type in any comments, questions, concerns, any additional commentary. Let us know.
And AJ says, hey, I had a hernia surgery and was down bad for a minute. It was rough in the bedroom. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I can't, I have had 2 miscarriages and one being down for the procedure that happened after the miscarriages. But then I had a mental block for a long time about sex because I was scared that I was going to get pregnant again and lose the baby. So I did not want to have sex. And it was not anything physically wrong with me at that time. It was just all in my head. Like, I don't want you to touch me because it's going to lead to this, and I'm going to get pregnant, and I'm going to lose another baby, and I can't go through that again. Yeah. And while I definitely wasn't giving out no passes, looking back on it, what was my expectation for him? Like, it was completely selfish of me to do that. Like, if I did have that, I should have taken some steps to work through it, whether some counseling,
communicate what's going on, or just talking
about it. Yeah, but I didn't say anything to him. It was just like, this is what I'm feeling in my head. This is this anxiety that I have. Yeah. And to him, it probably just feels like a rejection.
Yeah, and that's rough. When you're not on the same page, intimacy wise, that's a hard blow to deal with, right? Like, especially when you don't have clarity, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when you're the person in a relationship who might have a higher sex drive and you desire to be in that space with your partner, and without any real clarity, they're just getting, no, I don't want to, you know, that continuous rejection, that can mess with your head. It makes you think differently about yourself, makes you start playing scenarios in your mind of what you think they feel about you. You know, that might not be the case. Absolutely. Maybe they do find you attractive. Maybe it's, like you said, you were going through an entire grief and loss. You were going through working through a tumultuous situation. Like, but without that clarity, now I'm left to just kind of create my own narrative on why this is. And that can be very damaging to relationship. I ain't come back from that.
I mean, obviously we didn't either.
Oh my God.
What do you think I was talking about?
I didn't, but I don't think I realized that was.
I don't think I will never draw the line because we had another baby in between then.
But you're sure that it wasn't? It didn't help.
It didn't help at all.
Okay. Okay.
So Shanika says, Liddy lit. Yeah. Candace, you done missed out. Lady Tyrant says, permission or no, that's adultery. Mm-hmm. And AJ says, physical and mental trauma play a part for sure.
Absolutely. Even on the opposite, where you have a heightened sex drive and you're just hypersexual, and you might have a person who's like, yo, like, can we just have a night where we sleep?
Don't you want to talk to me?
I gotta wake in the morning. Like, do you want to have a conversation? Even on that end, just because it's active doesn't mean it's always coming from a healthy place. Mm-hmm. Like, and honestly, when you get in that real intentional, vulnerable state with the person that you're with, it'll expose a lot of that. It'll make you have to address, why are you uncomfortable with this? Hey, I'm a little aggressive. I grabbed you by your collar. That really freaked you out. Mm-hmm. We got to talk about that. Like, what's going on? You know, like, I would never hurt you. You know, stuff like that. Like, relationships, good relationships are a mirror.
Yeah.
We say it all the time.
I think I was very honest about that on the episode, where my hypersexuality was in an attempt to fill an emotional void that I had in my life and that I could obviously feel in my relationship. Yeah. So again, like he said, the hypersexuality is not just always a good thing. It can be to mask things. It can be to cover up stuff. It can be a result of a trauma. All that.
Absolutely. And be all though, when it comes to this platform, it's our desire that everybody attached to it, everybody who peeks their head in and listens, is just inspired to go back to your relationships with the mindset that we're going to make this work. This episode was about sex, and we had fun today, but I hope that the main point wasn't lost in all the fun that we had, and that is communication, vulnerability, openness, safety, and have fun. Have fun.
Get lit.
What?
I said get lit.
Oh, get lit. I thought you said kill it. Like, oh, that's aggressive.
I mean, that too.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Ma'am. All right. All right, y'all. We will be back next Tuesday and next Wednesday. I don't know what episode we're on. I think we're nearing the end of season 3 here in a little bit. But
we're on 8 or 9.
8. Yep, 8 or 9. So fastly approaching. We're working out a scenario for the season finale. We're still in the planning process, but be on the lookout for information about that. It's definitely something that's always interactive. It's always includes our people. So we'll have more information about that coming up soon.
I'm gonna just put this out there because he's been lightweight pressuring me about doing some type of live season finale. I will.
No, not Facebook Live.
Not Facebook Live, like in person.
Live studio audience.
We here, y'all there. We taking questions. We
How
have
lit would
conversation.
that be?
I will do that
What?
if we can incorporate it with a game night.
During the episode?
No, like it can be like after.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Before.
I'm with it. Absolutely. Y'all game? Who here would attend a live episode of the What They Never Told Us season finale?
Yeah, so about the panel, I do still have a desire to make that happen, but my location is compromised in a bit. I'm trying not I was
Yeah,
gonna
for
have
sure.
it at Ash's place, and
I don't. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I have to find another location because I don't want to put any pressure on her at all. So
Absolutely.
when I find another location before we end, we will do that. If not, it will definitely be something that is on the list for next season.
Next season, it'll be worth the wait too. That's definitely a conversation that needs to be had. But we appreciate the patience and all that working with us.
Okay, so everybody says that would be super lit. Juanica says yes, a live for the finale would be nice.
Khadijah out of town.
Candace says she's coming. No pun intended for this episode.
You're disgusting. Put your tongue in your mouth. What are you doing?
AJ says he's game. They'll definitely be there for sure, says Shanika.
Hey, I love it. Yep.
It's happening.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I don't know how long I've been pushing this. I tried to do the second season, but it was like a week before the live. Was that then? When did we try to do that?
No, that's when you proposed. We've just been talking about it.
Yeah, we just been talking about it, but I'm excited. It's gonna be dope. So we got to start planning that. So yeah, can't wait to see y'all then. Can't wait to see y'all next week for the next episode, next live. What you laughing at?
Candace says, I deleted that for exactly that reason.
What's wrong with her? This your friend, Candace. I can't. All right, y'all. We will see y'all next week. And as always, we love.